program been looking like out there at fall camp?
Yeah, been really pleased with their progress over these last 2 weeks. They're hungry. They're coachable. They take advantage of every day to get better. Mentally and physically, and had a ton of fun these last 2 weeks. And I think just them continuing to progress and get better. We could have a really special group.
How does this group kind of push each other and progress while they're in kind of a competition as well for those couple top spots?
Yeah, I call it a quiet competition. And iron sharpens iron is, whenever we're going through drills or we're self-serving each other, they push each other, to get better. They're always coaching each other. If they see something wrong after a play or after a rep an individual, correcting each other, which is really good, to see the leadership. And really all four of those guys, since the spring have taken a leadership role, in that position group. And I think trying to do that as an entire unit, an entire defense. And, and the best thing is that they don't care who's in there. They don't care how many reps each other gets. They're about being a group, because they know eventually this season we're going to need everybody in that room, and it's been a pleasure to watch.
Is there anything different about this group from what you've seen in the past, I guess?
Yeah, I think these guys really do, love and care for each other, on and off the field. They love spending time with each other. They're in the film room more than any group that I've had in the past, which says something to their preparation and how hungry they are to get better individually and as a position group. So, that's been great so far.
I think 3 out of your top 4 corners played wide receiver either in high school or here, all except maybe Miles. He played a lot of special teams. But what is it maybe about wide receivers that you've been able to move them to the defensive side and they've had success?
Yeah, probably because they can't catch. No, but it's good because those guys they've seen the game from both perspectives, so it helps them just formation recognition, the stems of the wide receivers, they can anticipate, what route's coming, and they can play the ball in the air, they got really good ball skills. So I think it's a benefit to have those types of guys that have played offense, especially wide receiver, being able to play corner at this level, because I think it's helped them.
What's you had so much success or experience working with those guys? What's kind of the first couple things that you really put those guys to work on when you move them over?
Yeah, just challenging them to learn the defense. Whether they're a true freshman coming in or a guy like Darian, that had played wide out and made the transition in the spring, challenging to learn their job first and foremost. And those guys, Tavon and TJ and Miles and Darian have done a great job. And then understanding their role, but then understanding, we always say defense is about knowing where your help is. So once getting their job down, understanding, what all 11 guys are doing on defense, I think helps them understand, where guys are going to be at, where their help's at, which has made them better football players.
What's the background of Darian's move?
Just from a depth standpoint, getting a guy that has elite speed and elite length. He obviously played DB in high school and, did a really good job at that. So I think just the fresh start and the transition of, hey, we need some more guys over in that spot, and he'd be a guy, it's really easy to coach a guy that's 6'3" and has length and can run really fast. Mm-hmm. It makes me a better coach. So I think the transition was, let's see if he can help us. Had an outstanding spring, has had an outstanding 2 weeks of fall camp. So, looking forward to him still progressing, and obviously helping us this fall.
How do you envision him helping you, and maybe just as a rotational piece, or what do you envision for him?
Yeah, he's done enough so far in 15 spring practices and 13 fall camp practices that he'll play for us. There's still all 4 of those guys are starting for fighting jobs, and fighting for the starting position. Whoever the best 2 guys coming out of camp will start, but probably the first game of the season by Series 3 or Series 4, the other 2 guys will be in. So I expect that rotation to continue to happen throughout the season. Obviously staying healthy and everything, but we're going to need all 4 of those guys all year long.
Beyond those 4, how's the depth chart looking there? Beyond those.
Yeah, obviously those 4 guys, being veterans and have separated themselves. We have 3 younger guys, you know, in Terrell Crosby, Jontez Williams, and Miles Norwood, you know, still kind of learning the defense. It's new to them, you know, but they're all unique and have a unique skill set in themselves. You know, got some length, got some speed, got some size. You know, so just trying to bring those guys along, and you never know as the progression goes throughout the season. There's always been a guy that has started out on the look team that has ended up playing for us at the end of the year. So we got to continue to develop those guys because we may need one or two of them throughout the season as well.
With Norwood, he redshirted last year. Any unique challenges with kind of getting him back up to playing speed?
Well, no, he came from junior college.
But didn't he redshirt there?
He did. He did. So he's a 4-for-3 guy. But you know, I think his transition has been the easiest so far. You know, coming from Iowa Western, you know, just a little bit further developed than the other two guys coming in. But you know, happy with his progression so far and just understanding his role and learning the defense and you know, at the point of attack, you know, obviously having the opportunity to make some plays.
It's rare to see a 6'4" corner, or 6'3", 6'4". So what are some of the advantages for Darian, and what are some of the things that he has to work through that are more challenging for him maybe than a 6-foot guy?
Yeah, you know what, he, you know, from a technical and fundamental standpoint, you know, still learning the position a little bit. I think the thing with him is his confidence, and he knows he can run really fast. So he gets in situations where he might not have the best leverage on a wide receiver, but never panics, you know, because he knows he has elite makeup speed and elite length to play the ball once the ball's in the air. So I think it's just continuing to develop his confidence, you know, in what he's doing at the line of scrimmage, his on-snap footwork that's going to put him in the best position to be successful in a play.
What are you thinking about the, excuse me, about the Big 12 as a whole this year, about the quarterbacks as a whole? Is this going to be a huge passing year? It seems like there's been a lot of rushers lately, and is it going back to passing?
Yeah.
Maybe it's never left.
You know what, I feel like, man, every team's going to have its own identity. You know, you do feel like with some of the new staffs and the new hires that, you know, we may see a little bit more up-tempo at times, you know, from some offenses, but you know, we feel like our defense is kind of structured to kind of slow the up tempo down a little bit, you know, maybe a little bit more spread. You know, I would anticipate, teams to come out and try to spread the ball around and push the ball downfield, you know, but our motto has always been kind of try to keep the ball inside and in front, you know, stop the run. You know, it'll be interesting to see, you know, obviously what these new staffs, new offenses will do, but, you know, I think they'll try to come out.
Have you started looking at their offenses yet?
We haven't. You know, we're kind of concentrating on ourselves right now, you know, preparing for the first game. You know, we'll obviously get a chance to look at those guys once we start preparing them, you know, during the week.